19th of November 2005. The Bernabéu. Barcelona are winning. And Real Madrid's own supporters are on their feet, applauding a Barcelona player off their pitch. It has essentially never happened since. 10 nights, Ronaldinho broke football. Counting down. The Elástico. Push the ball one way with the outside of the foot, snap it back with the inside in a single touch. It wasn't his invention, but he is the reason you know what it is. Every kid on every pitch in the world tried it after him, and almost none of them could do it, because the thing that makes it work isn't the trick. It's doing it at full speed with a defender already committed. He did it in games, repeatedly, in finals. That's 10. It gets better. 2001. Paris Saint-Germain sign a 21-year-old from Grêmio. France at that point has just won a World Cup and a European Championship. It is not short of talent, and within about a season, the people who play against him every week are saying the same thing. Laurent Blanc, World Cup winner, one of the great defenders of his generation, later put it plainly. 2 seasons in Paris, no trophies, a club that couldn't hold him. But everyone who saw it up close already knew. Barcelona were about to find out. 2003. Barcelona have not won the league in 4 years. They have just finished 6th. Real Madrid have the Galacticos, and Barcelona are, by any measure, the second club in Spain. They sign Ronaldinho. And what changes first isn't the results. It's the mood. The Camp Nou starts filling up for a team that isn't winning anything yet because of one player. Then the trophies come. 2 league titles, a Champions League. He didn't just improve Barcelona, he made them worth watching again, and everything that club became over the next 15 years started there. 2005. Nike release an advert. Ronaldinho puts on a pair of boots and volleys the ball against the crossbar. It comes back. He volleys it again. Crossbar. Again. 4 times without the ball touching the ground. It became one of the first videos in history to be passed around the internet by ordinary people. Now, it was edited. That's been fairly well established. But here's the thing. At the time, nobody was sure. And the reason nobody was sure is that it was Ronaldinho. With any other player on earth, you'd have known instantly it was fake. So what was it actually like to mark him? Daniel van Buiten, Bayern Munich center half, Belgium international, a man who spent his career marking the best forwards in Europe, described the specific problem. Read that again. Not he was quick, or he was strong. The complaint is that watching video of him didn't help because he never repeated himself. Zidane, who played against him, said the same thing more bluntly. These are not fans. These are the best players of that era describing a man they could not solve. 8th of March, 2005. Stamford Bridge. Champions League, last 16, second leg. Chelsea are Mourinho's Chelsea, the best defensive side in Europe. And 38 minutes in, the ball comes to Ronaldinho about 20 yards out, surrounded, with no backlift available and no space to shoot. So he shoots anyway, standing still, with his toe. The ball goes through a crowd of bodies and into the corner, and the goalkeeper doesn't move. Barcelona lost the tie that night 4-2, 5-4 on aggregate. Almost nobody remembers that. They remember the goal. 21st of June, 2002. World Cup quarterfinal. Brazil against England. 50 minutes in, Brazil win a free kick about 40 yards from goal. It's a crossing position. Everybody in the stadium expects a cross. He lifts it over David Seaman and into the top corner. Brazil lead 2-1. 7 minutes later, he's sent off. So Brazil have to play the last half hour of a World Cup quarterfinal with 10 men against England, protecting a 1-goal lead. They held on, and they went on to win the World Cup. The single most audacious thing he ever did, and it very nearly cost his country the tournament. Here's the one that's hardest to put in a statistic. He looked like he was enjoying himself, constantly. In finals, in Clásicos, in games that decided seasons. The face was the same as a kid in a park. Eden Hazard, who grew up watching him, said he took one specific lesson from it. Nani, asked to name the best player in history, didn't pick a teammate or a rival. He picked Ronaldinho, and the reason he gave wasn't the goals. Football had had geniuses before. It had not really had one who made it look like fun. That's the part nobody has replicated. 2004, FIFA World Player of the Year. 2005, FIFA World Player of the Year again, plus the Ballon d'Or. To understand what that means, look at who he was beating. This is the era of Zidane, Henry, Shevchenko, Ronaldo, Kaká, Gerrard, Terry, Nesta, one of the deepest generations the game has ever produced. And for 2 straight years, by the vote of national team coaches and captains around the world, the answer to who is the best footballer alive was the same name. Not arguable, not contested, just the answer. 19th of November, 2005, the Santiago Bernabéu. To be clear about what this stadium is, it is the home of Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world, and the one place on earth where a Barcelona player can expect to be treated worst. Barcelona win 3-0. Ronaldinho scores twice, both of them individual goals, both cutting through the Madrid defense in front of 80,000 people who want him to fail. And as he walks off, the Bernabéu stands up. Madrid supporters applauding a Barcelona player in their own ground after he has just beaten them. It had happened once before, to Maradona in 1983. It has not happened since. Every other night on this list is about what he could do with a football. This one is about what it did to people who did not want to be impressed. 80,000 Real Madrid fans on their feet for him. That's 10 nights that changed what people thought was possible. Here's the part nobody has ever really explained. In 2005, he was the best player alive, not one of, the best by common consent twice over. By 2009, he wasn't in the conversation at all. He didn't get injured out. He didn't retire. He played professionally for another 6 years after that. He just stopped being that player, and nobody has ever properly said why. 4 years at the very top of the game. Was it worth it? Tell me in the comments. GameDog FC.